All right, so we're on page 49. Page 49 in grammar. We're talking about pronouns today. So I know I've said this a bunch already, but English is really hard. It actually is one of the hardest languages to learn, even though you guys were probably, it was your first language when you started speaking, but still, there's so many rules about the grammar. And then there's things that don't follow any rules and stuff like that. So anyway, pronouns are still pronouns. We still have personal pronouns, which is he, she, it, and they and them for plural and things like that. Those are still pronouns. But today we're going to talk about two other types of pronouns. So in English, there's three types of pronouns. And here in the dark letters, it says personal pronouns. Those are the ones you already know. They take the place of a common and proper nouns. But then we've got indefinite pronouns. This is new to you, which means it is not definite. So indefinite means not definite. It does not refer to any particular person or thing. The words below are the indefinite pronouns. So these are more like vague. It doesn't tell specific, it doesn't refer to a specific thing or person. So it's more abstract, I guess you could say. So what I want to do though is read this list together just so you get it in your head of what these words are so you can see them in the homework and everything. But you can stay muted because there's a delay sometimes, so it'll get hard to read with the mics on. So keep yourself muted, but I still want to see you moving your mouth and saying these with me. Okay, so we're going to start here and go down the list. Ready, read. All, another, any, anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere, both, each, either, everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, few, many, more, most, much, neither, none, one, other, others, nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, own, several, some, somebody, someone, something, somewhere. Good. I saw you guys moving your mouth. And these are those words. These are the indefinite pronouns. So guess what? When you see these words, you're going to now label them as PR for pronoun. So it's not just going to be he, she, it, they, them anymore. You're also going to use these as pronouns. And you can see when you read that, they're just kind of vague, right? They're not specific to something. So those are those words. And then you have, just when you thought you knew enough about pronouns, there's more. Demonstrative pronouns. And when you see that word demonstrative, don't think of monster, okay? You're going to think of demonstrate. Do you see demonstrate in there? Demonstrative means demonstrate. What I want you to think about is a scientist in a lab doing a science experiment. This kind of stuff helps me. I know it sounds weird, but this is how my brain works. I have to have a visual in my head in order to remember it. So if you're thinking of demonstrate, you're thinking of a scientist in a lab doing a science experiment, and these are the words that are showing demonstrations, right? So like he or she might say, take this chemical and add it to that chemical, and then these together will explode. I know I have a weird mind, but hey, it helps me. So maybe it'll help you. All right, when you see demonstrative pronouns, think of demonstrate, think of a scientist, this, that, these, and those. Demonstrative, demonstrate, this, that, these, those. Okay, I bet you're going to remember it that way because I told you that. So maybe someday when you're teaching somebody else, you say, I remember way back when Mrs. C said to think of a scientist in a lab, and there you go. this, that, these, those. And you're still going to write PR above each pronoun, okay? Many had nowhere to go. That was tragic. So these are all pronouns now. We're going to label these. Many is a pronoun. Nowhere is a pronoun. These are words that you'll find in this list. And then that, it's a demonstrative pronoun. That is also a pronoun. All right, and then down here, we're going to think about it. There's a couple words. This is why English is hard. There's a couple words. It depends on how it's used in the sentence. It could mean totally different things. So many words can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. The indefinite and demonstrative pronouns function as pronouns when they take the place of a noun. However, these same words function as adjectives when they come before a noun. So some of these words, like the word many, you're going to see here, can be a pronoun or it can be an adjective. It depends on where it is in the sentence. So look at this one right here where it says pronoun. Many had nowhere to go. Many is the pronoun because it takes the place of the names of people, maybe in the sentence before. People who had nowhere to go. Many had nowhere to go. So that's going to be the pronoun, takes the place of whatever the sentence before said. And then here it is as an adjective. Many families had nowhere to go. That's telling how many families. There's many families. It doesn't tell us the exact number, but many is more than a few, right? So that makes it an adjective. So many here is a pronoun, but it's an adjective in this sentence. And then we're going to talk about the word that. Here it is as a pronoun. That was tragic. So it's referring to whatever the sentence was before, which we don't know. We don't know the sentence before, but it's considered a pronoun because it's telling about the sentence that already happened. That was tragic. Okay. And it says it takes place of the explanation of what was tragic. And it becomes the subject of the clause. So that becomes the subject, whatever that is. And here it is as an adjective. That arrow hit the target. So it's telling which arrow was it? It was that arrow. That's the adjective. It's telling which one. And it comes before the noun. So when it comes before the noun, it's an adjective. And then we've got this, the that clause. We've talked about this one before. So that can be used a lot of different ways. Robin knew that the poor families needed help. There is the that clause. In this sentence, that is used to begin a dependent clause. It is followed by a subject and a verb and completes the main clause telling what Robin knew. That the poor families needed help. So needed is your verb. Families is your subject. So that's part of the that clause right there. Okay. Any questions about any of that? It'll get easier. More we practice this, it'll make more sense. And then we always have homophones. Those are great. We have a bunch of them in English. I don't think any other languages, I don't even think Spanish has homophones. That's why it's tricky. We have homophones. Remember, homo means same and phone means sound. So basically a homophone is the same sound. It's the same sound of a word, but spelled different. Look at the end of that first little paragraph. You have there, and there. They all sound the same. They're spelled different. They mean different things. But when you say it, they sound exactly the same. There, and there. All right, let's look at the first one. THERE is an adverb pointing to a place. Over there. There is the spot. Okay, I have a little trick for this one too, because you guys know I struggle with spelling still. So to help me remember how to spell this one, if I cover up the T, I see the word here. See that? If I cover up that T right there in the word there, I see here. And that reminds me, okay, it's a place. I can say here or there, right? Here or there. So if I cover up the T and I see here, it's like, oh yeah, that's a place there, over there. And then the next one here is THEIR. It's a possessive pronoun. Their arrows means the arrows belong to them. Their arrows. And then the last one is with apostrophe. That's easy to spot. There with an apostrophe RE means they are, right? So it's a contraction. They're angry. They are angry. The contraction there is shortened form of they are and functions as the subject pronoun, they, and the verb are of the clause. So lucky for you guys, in this book, they're going to make mistakes on purpose just for you. Yay! So you're going to find the one that's incorrect, just draw one line through it, and then write it the correct way above it. They're going to do it wrong on purpose. You got to find them and fix it. The archers raised their bows to shoot the target over there. So here we've got their bows means the bows belong to them. So it's THEIR. And then over there, remember, cover up the T, you see here, over there. It works, right? Okay, so THERE is how you spell that one. Okay, moving on. How about Christian? Can you read today, please?
Others, who were strong and good-hearted, had lost their farms because the greedy king wanted their lands.
Good. All right. We know greedy. We've heard about greedy people and characters before. Means if you already have a lot of money, but you still want more money, you can't ever be satisfied. You want more and more and more and more and more. Greedy, right? Okay. Wanting too much wealth. And then there's one article, so we can find that by yourself really quick. And did you guys notice, I'm sure you did, the word there, they messed up on two of them. So Zach, let's fix those really quick. Like their farms, how should we spell their?
THEIR?
Yes, good. So let's just fix that real quick. Oops. EIR. And then which one for their lands?
TH. Is it THEIR again?
It is. Yes, good. That's right. They're both THEIR, which means the lands belong to them and the farms belong to them. So we could put a check by homophones there. It's okay to jump around this list, by the way, on your homework if it helps you. I like to fix those obvious ones. Okay, now we're to the nouns. So, Harmony, where are the nouns?
Go. Farms.
Good.
King.
Good.
Land.
And land. Good. Lands. That's it. Pronoun, Christian.
Others.
Oh, good. You found it. That's one of those indefinite ones from that list. So when you're doing your homework, if you're not sure, you can check that list. How about adjectives, Zach?
Others is not. Strong.
Good.
Good-hearted.
Yep.
Greedy.
Yep.
Were.
No, that's going to be a verb, but whose farms were they? Whose farms and whose lands?
Others. That's it there.
Yeah, right here.
Farms.
Yeah, so whose farms go back one?
Oh, there?
Yeah, so their farms. That's telling whose farms, right? So
Oh,
there actually becomes an adjective. And then what about whose lands are they?
there.
There again, yeah. The adjectives are a little tricky. But that's how you would find them is go to the nouns. That's why we find the nouns first. And then ask yourself like which one or what kind or how many or whose. Those are the questions to ask to find the adjectives. So I know it seems weird because there kind of sounds like it could be a pronoun, but it's actually telling whose. So it's an adjective. All right. So Harmony, what about the coordinating conjunction?
What is it?
The coin conjunction and
Good. CC. Who, which clause, Christian?
Who were strong and good-hearted?
Yes. Excellent. W/W. Adverb clause, Zach. You remember that one? That's the Asia word. You can write it in here if that helps.
Saying not to get involved in the affairs of other nations, which is the definition of isolation.
Wanted their land?
Not wanted. That's going to be a verb. So do you remember what those W stand for?
No.
Okay,
I forgot
it
that.
stands for the three W's. And if you have to look back in your book, you can, but it's when, while, where,
Mhm.
as, since, if, although, because. Can you say that really quick for me? Like the when, while, where,
When, while, where,
as, since,
as, since, if,
although.
although, because.
Good, good, good. Okay, so one of those words.
Because the greedy king wanted their land.
Yes, that's it. You got it. So try to memorize those. And I would write it in there to help you, but www.asia.b, when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. And then we're going to label this AC for adverb clause. Now the verbs. So, Christian, I think we're back to you on the verbs. Or wait, maybe it's, you know what? I think it's Harmony's turn. Sorry. Where are the verbs at, Harmony? The action words are helping.
You want to tell her what you have?
were
Were
Had.
one, had,
lost
Yeah, that's
yep, lost.
others.
no.
Oops, what did she say?
Tell her what word?
Wanted
Okay, wanted, yes.
king.
Yeah, that's the subject.
Oh yeah, she's talking about Cedric. That's good. Let me hear Christian do the subject though. Where are the subjects, Christian?
Who?
Who is one?
King?
King.
Others?
Yes, very good. Others. So what opener is that, Zach?
Number one opener.
Good. Number one subject. Very good. And then we've got capital. You can fix that by yourself. What about the comma? Harmony, do you know what to do about the comma? Do we put one in or take one out?
What'd you do? Tell her.
And
Take it out or put
took
it
it
in?
out.
Good. Which one? What word is it next to? The one you took out.
Draw.
Good. Yes, that's the one. We don't need it there because you're just connecting two adjectives, so you don't need a comma there. And then the end mark is a period. There you go. Good job, you guys. So like I said, if you need to jump around the list, that's fine. Do the easy ones first. Okay. Go ahead and get your binders out now. And you guys were working on, oh yeah, the hooded Pitahui. we're going to learn about some other really interesting birds today. Crazy stuff. Go ahead and get out your keyword outline and all the stuff from your front pocket. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay, so last week, just a little refresher here. What we're working on, just to look at this for a second. We did these notes last week about the dangerous birds. And remember, we talked about that word summarizing. What we're really doing is telling some information. So you're not going to tell all of the information, only some about these birds, right? So let's pretend the funnel here. Let's pretend there's like 50 things you could say about these birds, but you can only pick 7. This is what we do. We look for the interesting things first, right? Because that makes it more fun to write about. And then you might want to include important things like maybe the size and the color, and then relevant things. So these are what you're keeping in mind as you're looking for those 7 facts about whatever the topic is. Now, last week, so our subject here is dangerous birds. That's the subject. That's the main thing we're talking about. Last week, we did the first topic, which was the hooded pitahui. And you guys wrote a paragraph about that. Does anybody feel like reading their paragraph today about the hooded pitahui? Either you can read it. I see that hand. Good, Harmony. Or I can read it. You can ask me to read it. It's fine. But let's hear Harmony's. And then we'll see. Do you want to read yours, Christian or Zach?
Hold on a second.
No? Okay.
Okay, go. Nice
The
and loud.
hooded pitahui is the first bird known to be poisonous. It is also called the rubbish bird. Tests show that the feathers and skin are absolutely poisonous. In 1989, a researcher was scratched and his skin felt numb. The toxicity, which comes from munching courson beetles, is a bactroxin similar to that of a poisonous dart frog. Predators are deterred because of the poison. The poisonous pitahui bird lives in New Guinea.
Yay! Let's give her a clap in the camera, you guys. Good job. Oh, I love it, Harmony. That was really, really good. And I heard all of your dress ups and your topic clinchers. Let's just take a look really quick at the checklist since we're talking about it. This should be in your stack of stuff from your front pocket. This is page 73. And don't forget, we have the topic clincher rule on here now. And I heard that with Harmony, she used hooded pitahui in the topic and in the clincher. Remember, that's the first sentence and the last sentence. Remember the rule? It says must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Okay, let's do it together really quick. Everybody put your hands up. Remember that we're going over the topic clincher rule. Put your hands up like this. And you can stay muted, but I want you to say it with me. Okay, ready, go. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. One more time faster. Ready, go. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Good. That was good. Okay. And then your dress ups. So don't forget these too. And I heard every single one in Harmony's paper. You did great, Harmony. So you had an LY. I heard that. You had the who, which clause. You had lots of strong verbs in there. And then I heard the word because in a because clause. So, and I heard the word munched because she didn't want to use the word ate because that's a banned word. So she thought of the word munched, which was a good one because that's probably what birds do. Munch on bugs. All right, back to this. So you guys know we're talking about the dangerous birds. You talked already, you wrote about the hooded-pitty-hooey. Today we're going to talk about the other two. And one of them is called the African ostrich, and the other one is called the southern cassowary. These are going to be 2 more paragraphs. So altogether, you'll have 3 paragraphs about dangerous birds. So look at your keyword outline, this one. We need to add a Roman numeral 2 and a Roman numeral 3. So let's set that up first. Go ahead and skip a line under clincher and put a Roman numeral 2. And again, we're going to do 1 through 7. So we got to get this ready. Put that word clincher down there. And the word topic up here by the Roman numeral. You might need the back of your paper. That's okay if you need to use the back too, okay? I'm going to squeeze my 7 at the very bottom, but if you need to use the back of your paper, that's okay. Because I ran out of space, I'm going to squeeze that word clincher right here and topic right here. Good, I see that, Harmony. Good job. Try to keep your numbers nice and straight. Okay, good. I know that the next article is going to be the African ostrich, so I'm going to have you go ahead and write that next to Roman numeral 2. That's going to be your second paragraph. So go ahead and put in African and ostrich, and then a blank because you're going to come up with another word, but we don't know yet. We have to read it first. And then I know that the third paragraph is going to be about the southern cassowary and a blank because we don't know what we're going to put yet about those birds. I kept them lowercase because in the article I noticed that, so I just kept it lowercase there. So in Roman numeral 2, your second paragraph is going to be all about the African ostrich. Roman numeral 3, your third paragraph is going to be all about the southern cassowary. All right. Thumbs up when you got all that down. Good. Okay. By the way, for your topic clinchers, it's kind of handy here. They made it pretty easy for you. You can use African ostrich in your first sentence and African ostrich in your last sentence and highlight those. That can be your topic clincher. You can also do the same for southern cassowary. They already gave you 2 words. If you use it in your first sentence and your last sentence, then you can use that for your topic clincher, just to keep in mind for that. Okay, back to, now I need you to get out the African ostrich article. Page 67, this one. All right, now since you wrote 1 through 7 here, that tells us we need 7 facts about this bird, okay? But looking at this, I know there's more than 7. So here's what I want you to do. As I read it, I want you to underline things that you think are either interesting, important, or relevant. You underline those things. You only need 7, so you don't want to underline every sentence. But I just want you to keep underlining as you go. And if you accidentally underline like 9, we'll go back and put a little star by your favorite ones, okay? But just focus on underlining the things that you think is interesting or important or relevant about these birds. So you underline while I read, okay? African ostrich. The largest bird on earth, the African ostrich, can grow to over 7 feet in height and weigh up to 300 pounds. That's incredible, right? I don't even know anybody that's 7 feet tall, but I know they exist. There's people like who play basketball and stuff. I don't think I know any 300-pound basketball players, but there probably are some football players. Speaking of football. So that's a big bird. Okay, I'm going to keep going. When running, it spreads its small wings and can sustain speeds up to 40 miles per hour. That's fast. It has massive leg bones, and its 2-toed feet have hoof-like pointed nails several inches in length. All right, so hopefully you underlined at least one thing in there, because you're going to need 7, but it's okay if you underline more than one. I want you to kind of, whatever you think is, whoa, that's cool, you can underline it, okay? I'm going to keep going. Contrary to popular thought, an ostrich does not bury its head in the sand, but it will lie down with its head against the ground if nearby danger is perceived. When surprised or threatened, an ostrich can be deadly. It will charge and kick at an enemy. One solid kick can kill a lion or disembowel a dog. By the way, that word disembowel is kind of sad, but it means like when the guts come out, okay? So they're pretty vicious birds. There are many recorded incidents of humans being killed by ostriches. Wow. So probably don't want to go around these guys unless they're domesticated, because some people have them as pets. And when they're domesticated, they're more friendly, but you don't want to go across a wild one. If you see a giant bird that's 300 pounds, run the other way, okay? And they run fast, so you're going to have to run fast and jump in the car and drive away. All right, I'm going to keep going. Are you guys underlining stuff? Give me a thumbs up if you got some things underlined. Good, okay. The male ostrich is black with white tipped wings and a white tail, while the female is a grayish brown color. Ostriches generally travel in small groups with one male, 3 or 4 females, and their young. Ostrich eggs weigh about 3 pounds. Whoa, one egg. They are laid in a communal nest, which can hold up to 60 eggs at a time. By the way, communal means they share a nest. So wherever they are, it must be a big nest. That's all I got to say about that. Because these eggs are 3 pounds. Anyway, communal means they share a nest. The males sit on the eggs at night, and the females incubate them by day. So they take turns sitting on the eggs. That's interesting. Sometimes the dads sit on the eggs, and sometimes the moms sit on the eggs. Ostriches are also raised for commercial purposes. Ostrich hide, that means their skin, is used in luxury leather products, and ostrich meat is considered lean and nutritious. Domesticated ostrich eggs are sold in many countries, and one egg is equivalent in volume to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. Whoa. I have chickens, okay? And they lay about a dozen eggs a day. We have a bunch of chickens here. And I know what 2 dozen eggs looks like. That's like, 24 eggs. That's the same as one ostrich egg. Wow. I heard that you have to use 2 hands to hold it. It's like so big. Have you guys ever seen a real one before? Like, have you ever held one before? Me either. I've seen them on, online and stuff, but that's a big egg. All right. So I want you to just take a second and count how many things you underlined. See how many facts you underlined. Just count and then show me with your fingers on the camera. $12. Is that 12, Zach? Okay, I see 10 for harmony. That's good. There's a lot of good stuff in there. What is that? 8? 9? You're changing your fingers. 8, I'm thinking. Is that what it is? All right. Well, all 3 of you have too many, which is, I'm not surprised because there's a lot of good stuff in here. So now I want you to try to pick 7. So you're not going to be able to do all 10 harmonies. So you're going to have to kind of look at it, narrow it down to 7 facts. And what I want you to do is just put a little star by the ones you want. Okay. So you'll need, or you can number them if that's easier to keep track of, but try to narrow it down to 7. Put a little star or a number next to what you underlined. Try to keep it down to 7. And that's good that you have too many because that makes it easier to narrow it down. When you got your 7, give me a thumbs up. All right, I see that. Good. Got it, Zach? Picked your 7? Okay. It'd be hard to narrow it down, but give me a thumbs up, Harmony, when you got it. Okay, while she's working on that, you can keep going, Harmony. Keep working on that. Let's look at your keyword outline now. And so yours is going to be different because remember, I wanted you to pick what you thought was interesting and important and relevant. But before we get too deep into it, does anybody have an idea of what word we can put right here? Zach?
1ST, largest.
Oh, yeah. Representing the first largest bird? Yep, that would work. 1ST largest, or you can just put largest. I like that though. Because it did say that. So if that was one of the things you underlined, you already got it here. So, but maybe you underlined its height and weight. Did anybody underline that part, like how tall it is and how much it weighs? Yeah, a couple of you guys did. So I'm going to give you a minute. Just find one fact from paragraph 1 that you underlined to go ahead and put next to regular 1. I'm just going to have you guys start it right here, and then we're going to read Southern Cassowary. So go ahead and pick a fact that you underlined in paragraph 1 or somewhere at the top of the article and do this one right here, regular number 1, and give me a thumbs up when you got it. You know what to do, Zach? Oh, it looks like he froze. Did you freeze? I think Zach froze. You got it already, Christian? Okay, what did you put?
I put 7 feet in height.
7 feet in height. Okay, good. You could add to that and put the number 300, 300, and LBS for pounds.
Yeah.
And then you got that fact too, and you don't have to count that.
It'll take less time.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, 300 pounds. Zach, you froze for a second. Are you there? Okay. What we're
I'm
doing,
having internet problems. I've already disconnected from the meeting like 4 times.
oh no. Well, I wonder if I should, am I recording this? I don't think I am. Oh, I am recording it. Well, there you go. So if you need to watch it later, you can. Yeah, you can leave your camera off, Zach. Sometimes that helps the internet go better. Did you? Oh, whoa. Sometimes it just decides to do weird stuff like that. Okay, there we go. Harmony, did you put something next to 1 right here? Tell me what you have.
Okay, read her this.
7 feet.
But what did you do? You put an abbreviation for feet, right? FT.
FT.
Okay.
Height
Okay.
300
Good.
pounds.
Good. That's perfect. Yeah. And that's important information to tell how big these animals are, these birds. So, okay. And now we're going to jump down to the southern cassowary. So I want to make sure to have time to read that today. So let's look at that. Page 69. You guys are all doing really good about doing your keyword outline. So I know you can do this by yourself for part of your homework. So I want to make sure to just talk about this one because this one, wait till you hear about this guy. It's called a southern cassowary, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to read, but you guys focus on underlining. And your goal is 7. But if you get more than 7, that's okay. You can narrow it down, but I want you to try at least find 7 things about this bird that you think are really interesting, important, or relevant, okay? All right. The southern cassowary is considered the most dangerous bird in the world. Inhabiting the tropical forests of New Guinea and northeastern Australia, it is the 3rd largest bird after the emu and the ostrich. Although its body is black, it has a beautiful red neck and a bright blue head, topped by a horny ridge on its upper bill and crown. Primarily eating fruit, it also consumes other plants, fungi, insects, and even small fish, lizards, or rats. So it's an omnivore. It eats both plants and meat. Okay. So when we're done reading this, I'm going to show you a little video about this bird. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So make sure you're underlining important things as you go or interesting things. With enormously powerful legs, a cassowary can run over 30 miles per hour. It swims well. That's interesting. And is able to cross wide rivers or swim in the sea. Its 3-toed feet have very sharp claws. The middle toe has a long, straight, murderous nail, which can sever an arm or eviscerate an abdomen with ease. Okay, let me explain a couple things in here because murderous murderous nail, not tail, but that word murderous means it can kill. And do you know what sever means? Do you guys know what sever means? It basically means to cut off an arm. And I'm thinking through the bone and everything, to cut the arm off, a sever an arm means to just cut it off of your body. So that guy, these birds, the southern cassowary, have very sharp claws. And then eviscerate, that means basically to cut open an abdomen, which is like your gut, your belly. So you thought the African ostrich was scary. These guys. But good news for us. They're not in America. So, but if you ever go visit New Guinea or Australia, okay, I'll show you a picture of them in a minute so you'll know to stay away. Did you guys notice that these are in quotes? Nobody's speaking here, but there is a little footnote, what's called right here. That little tiny number 1 is a footnote. It means that at the bottom of your page, you see where that little 1 is down here. It says Ernest Thomas Gilliard, Living Birds of the World, Garden City, New York, Doubleday, 1958. That's called a reference. That's a book. So basically, they're telling us that that information came from a book, and here's the author. In case you want to go to the library and check this book out and find out more information, you can. So they're referencing right here. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Though normally shy, a cassowary will attack when provoked. That word provoked, let me just pause there for a second, just means like if you have a brother or a sister that picks on you sometimes and they like poke you or like tickle you or something and then they run away. It's like they're provoking you to go chase them, right? That happened to me a lot. My brothers pestered me all the time. And, you know, we're good friends now. So, hey, you will be too. I know they drive you crazy right now, but you will be good friends. And maybe you are already. Okay, anyway, I'm going to keep going here. It will charge, jump, and kick its victim feet forward, puncturing or lacerating the skin, possibly breaking bones. It has been known to attack dogs, horses, cows, humans, and even cars. The cassowary is considered endangered in Australia, mostly due to habitat loss, but also as a result of motor vehicle strikes and dog attacks. So basically, there's not very many left, and they're saying partly because maybe the forest is changing, but also partly because somehow cars are hitting them. Maybe tourists that are driving around Australia, they don't see them at night or something. But also dog attacks, so probably wild dog attacks, I'm thinking. And then it talks about feral pigs. Feral pigs are wild pigs that are just, they're not like farm pigs, different than farm pigs, they're wild pigs. Destroy cassowary nests and eggs. Although protected by law, it is occasionally hunted or trapped by humans. So there you have it, southern cassowary. See how many facts you underlined about this. And while you're counting your facts, I'm going to pull up a video because I have to show you this thing. Pretty interesting. Show me on your fingers when you count how many facts you underlined. Okay. Okay, good, Harmony. So you have too many. You can only have 7. So see if you can narrow it down to just 7. Put a little star or number them. Oh, good. You got it, Christian. That was good. Because remember, we're summarizing, which means you're only telling some of the information, not all of it. So it makes it hard to decide. It definitely makes it hard to decide. Okay. Pull this thing out. Oops. Got it, Harmony? Good. Okay, Zach, how's yours coming? Did you pick 7? I know your camera's off, so you can just tell me if you're there. Sounds like his internet's kind of wonky today. All right, I'm going to share this video with you. I'm not going to be able to play the whole thing because we won't, well, maybe. Let's see how far we get. Check that out.
In the rainforests of Australia, the giant cassowary is in danger from a feral invader.
Looks like a dinosaur head, huh? Those are those pigs.
March 2018. The BBC's 7 Worlds, 1 Planet team arrive in northern Queensland. Their aim? To film one of the world's largest birds, the cassowary.
We are in the Daintree rainforest in North Queensland, and it's one of the oldest patches of rainforest in the world.
Growing to a height of 1.5 meters and equipped with enormous dinosaur-like claws, cassowaries have been described as the planet's most dangerous birds. But these feathered giants are shy and prefer to stay hidden in dense tropical rainforest. There are only around 2,000 left in Australia. To locate them, the team set up a series of camera traps. But instead of cassowaries, they discover another animal that could threaten the future of the entire forest.
There's like 8 pigs in that. When was that?
Those are those feral pigs.
We put out loads of camera traps around the place, and most of the
I'm going to pause it right there. So she's basically explaining they're trying to catch these cassowary birds on camera, but they're finding more and more feral pigs. So they're going to say that because of the population of the pigs, they're attacking the cassowaries. But man, they look like dinosaurs, huh? That's what I thought when I first saw that. Big old horn thing on their head.
It's the bird from Up.
Say that again, Harmony.
It's the bird from Up.
Oh, really?
Kevin.
I don't
Kevin.
remember that. I'll have to watch that. Have you seen Up, Christian? I don't know. Interesting. I did not know that. I'll have to look for that. Thank you, Harmony. All right. So back to this. Can anyone think of a word right here that we can add to this for next to southern cassowary? What's a word to kind of describe them, Christian?
Dangerous?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Dangerous, for sure. Definitely dangerous. And then, so what you guys are going to do this week is finish your keyword outline for the African ostrich and the southern cassowary with those facts that you guys underlined. So you're going to finish these two, Roman numeral 2 and Roman numeral 3, and write 2 paragraphs. You're going to add it to your hooded pitahui, because this is a report about dangerous birds. Remember, that's your subject right here. Dangerous birds. So you're going to finish this report. And don't forget on your checklist about your topic clinchers. But like I said, that's kind of already there for you. So it should be pretty easy to do the topic clinchers. But you also need to give it a new title. When you're all the way done with your very last final sentence, then you can pick a title. If you need to add an extra sentence, you can. I mean, it's okay. But try to incorporate whatever your title is going to be with that last sentence, because you also need your topic clinchers there too. So, all right. So you're going to finish this and write 2 more paragraphs. Does anybody have any questions about your homework? Nope. Okay, good. Keep all this in your front pocket so it's ready to go when you do your homework. And I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Good job. Bye. See you next week.